There is so much advice out there about how to take care of your skin, but some of it just flat out isn't true. So today we're going to take a look at some of those myths and how to bust the fake news. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're taking a look at some of those myths out there and we're going to blow them wide open. And I have to be honest with you, it bugs the hell out of me because there's so much advice being given that just flat out isn't true. Partly the reason I think that these myths continue is that they kind of make sense. So it's really about looking a little bit deeper into it, doing the research and finding out really whether or not these are true. And it's not always easy to spot the truth from the fiction. So when I sat and started writing them down, oh my gosh, I couldn't stop. The list just went on and on and on. So today I'm picking 5 because I could do this all day long. I'm sure you have better things to do. Number 1, you don't need to wear SPF if it's not sunny. Okay, this is the one that probably bothers me the most. It is crazy talk. The only time that you should not be wearing SPF is if it's dark. It's as simple as that, because the UV rays will get you everywhere. The thing to be mindful of as well is that there are 2 types of UV rays. The UVA, which deals with premature aging of the skin, and then there's UVB, which contributes to skin cancers. So they will find you. So unless you're living in a cave, then you need to wear SPF every single day. And to make matters worse, research over the past couple of years have indicated that our screens are actually harming our skin. So these bad boys, our phones, our laptops, our computers, our tablets, they all emit HEV, which is high energy visible light. And that breaks down the collagen in our skin and starts to cause premature aging. The more we put these to our face, the more damage it's doing. However, SPF can protect from that. So yet another reason, if you're not outdoors, you could be in a box and harmful rays are getting to your skin. So a few pointers on the SPF, a few tips. 1, look for broad spectrum. That means it covers UVA and UVB. So look for ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium oxide because that's going to cover you from everything. Also, go for a minimum SPF 30 because that's going to give you, really good coverage year round. You're supposed to apply half a teaspoon for your face and neck. It's a lot more than people understand. So to get the coverage that you need, just make sure you get the right amount. And the last tip is apply that and leave it for 15 minutes before you apply your makeup because you need to give that time to settle. Oh, and one last thing. Don't rely on SPF in your makeup because chances are you're never wearing enough makeup to give you that half teaspoon of coverage. I hope you're not anyway. So in order to make sure that your skin is protected, you need to make sure that you use a high volume of SPF, which probably isn't going to be found in your makeup. Myth number 2 is that age spots are caused by getting older. There may be a few of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, and if that's true, you are amongst the lucky ones. But for the rest of us, they are those dark spots that can form on our face, and they often can form on our hands, and we notice them as we get older. Now, these are caused from extra melanin in our skin that kind of congregates together, and that is because of UV exposure. It basically is from too much sun, and it is sun damage. And oftentimes, it doesn't actually expose itself until you get older. So for me, mine didn't start to actually show until my early 40s, and it was a result of all of the damage that I did in my youth. I grew up in Florida and I didn't wear SPF as a kid. We didn't have it. So I started to see some sunspots and age spots that started. There are great products out there to combat it, so you don't need to worry. Products like niacinamide and vitamin C are brightening agents that can reduce those. So I used to have quite a few on this cheek, and I had a couple over here that are mostly gone because I've been using vitamin C and niacinamide and tretinoin, and those products together have helped to just really rejuvenate the skin. So there's a way out, and that's great, but it's not really just a function of getting older, it's a function of sun damage. So back to the thing I just spoke about, if you wear your SPF, you will never actually have the damage. So now we're on to number 3. The third myth is that medical grade skincare is the only skincare that really works. There's no such thing as medical grade skincare. It's a hoax. It's a marketing term that's used to make you spend a lot of money on stuff you don't need to spend a lot of money on. If you go to the FDA website and try to get information about skincare, it's very limited and there are only a couple of paragraphs about it, and they pretty much put things into 2 categories. One is cosmetics and the other is drugs. And drugs require prescriptions like tretinoin and hydroquinone. The only one that can kind of sit in that skincare space is SPF, because SPF is actually a drug that can be purchased in products that are actual cosmetics. So that's sort of the tricky one. But at any rate, there is no medical grade section or reference. There's nothing in any governing bodies that talk about it. And basically, it's just a way of getting these really high-priced products into your bathroom at exorbitant prices. Now, it's probably a throwback to, there used to be a time years ago where you can only get certain products in establishments that were under physician's care, like the company SkinCeuticals. For years, they were the only supplier of a vitamin C product, and you could only get that, say, at your dermatologist. So you know that little stand that they'd have in the corner, you can buy products, which, by the way, they are making money on. They are probably the early influencers, these physicians and doctors that are trying to sell a certain product, but you don't need a prescription for them. And even SkinCeuticals now, you can buy it on Amazon, you can buy it off their own websites. You don't need physician's care. So it's just a big fat lie. So if you were to go to the drugstore or to the high street, a lot of the same ingredients you're going to find in these medical grade products, you can find on the drugstore shelf for a tenth of the price or a fifth of the price or whatever. So it's all about looking at the ingredients and finding out which ones you need for your skin. It's not going for the most expensive one, or anything called medical grade is a big pile of hooey, and don't buy it. Myth number 4. There is a theory that your skin adjusts to products that you're using, and they stop working over time, therefore you have to constantly change and introduce new products. That's not true. Your skin doesn't get used to products. What's probably happening is the products that you have started to use have actually done a good job. So if you start using products that, say, have hyaluronic acid in it, and the byproduct of that is that your skin gets plumper, you may notice 3-6 months down the road that it hasn't changed since it started to plump. Well, if you take out that HA from your products, then you might see that it decreases. But what it means, most likely, is that the product has actually done its job. It's delivered that plumpness. Or say you have some age spots and you want to use a vitamin C to see that reduction. Now, there comes a point at which it's only so far that it's going to go. And it's not that your skin is adjusted to it, it's just that it's done its job and you're actually in maintenance mode. So the time to change and introduce new products is when you have a skin need that needs to be addressed. So whether it's a plumpness or a dehydration or a wrinkles or sunspots or whatever it may be, you look for active ingredients that will combat that. And you may just need to change it up once you hit a point where, gosh, I'm really happy where that's gotten me to. What do I need to work on next? That's when you're going to introduce new things into your product range. Okay? Myth number 5 is, if your skin is tingling, that means the product is working. No. Our skin is a really good indicator of what it can and cannot tolerate. But if it's itchy, if it's red, if it's burning, these are usually signs that something's wrong and your skin isn't taking to this product, and just you should stop it straight away. Now, the funny thing is there are even some companies that put products in to deliver that tingling sensation because you think it's good. Things like eucalyptus and peppermint and menthol and things that are highly irritating are added just for that function. You need to pay attention and to listen to your skin. Now, there are certain ingredients that are irritating, things like tretinoin and retinols and certain acids like glycolic or lactic, but if they have a job to do, and if you know that they can be on the irritating side, you can plan for it. There's always a way to introduce these things into your routine. Just do it in a very cautious manner. You start on a low percentage and you start it very slowly, maybe once or twice a week, because some of these products are actually good for your skin, but you just need to give it time to adjust and to learn to tolerate it. But the rule of thumb, and I do this myself because I experiment with a lot of stuff and I put stuff on and it starts to sting, I take stuff off. That just is a way of my skin saying, red alert, red alert, this is not good, and I remove it. So that's it, guys. That's a few of the myths. And like I said earlier, I could go on and on and on. And in fact, I may do a series of these because I think there are so many things out there that there's just a huge volume of misinformation and people being led down paths they don't need to, and potentially actually doing damage to their skin when, it can all be prevented. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you will give me a thumbs up and also hit that notification bell so that you'll know every time a new video comes online, which is every Friday. So thanks again for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This is going to be a fast one. I bet you it's under 10.